Joanna Petrova, Global ABM and Partner Marketing Manager at PageUp. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me, Sam.
So, Joanna, a question I like to start with to get a bit of ABM is obviously different for every company, for every industry, as we just discussed prior to this, like at the Global ABM conference. It'd be good if we could get a bit more context around your role, what you do, if you have a team, and then we can dive straight into some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thanks again for having me. I'm Joanna and I lead ABM at PageUp. I've been in B2B marketing for about 7 years, and a big chunk of that has either been ABM adjacent or leading ABM. At PageUp, I don't have an ABM team, but I roll up to the demand gen function. And we have a small but mighty team that works on essentially integrated campaigns and advertising across the funnel. So yeah, solo team of one.
Yeah, sounds tough already. And so if you can say, obviously this is more about you than company, but like, was there any sort of strategic initiative that was like, right, we're going to do ABM now? Like the reason why you're building it from the ground up now? Was there anything that happened that changed?
Great question. I think part of it, like for me, part of it was me joining the organization. So I had run account-based marketing globally for a different HR tech business before. And when I joined PageUp, it seemed like a natural fit to introduce that approach. We had an incredible CMO join and revamp the function. And she had had success with ABM previously. And when I pitched the initiative to her, she was very excited for it. It's definitely something that is recognized both by her, the rest of the C-suite, and our board as something that is essential to modern marketing. They look to our ABM program for insights, for strategy, for execution, and it's definitely something that's on the agenda every board meeting. So we're very lucky in that sense that there was alignment across all regions of the org, multiple teams, and across multiple levels as well.
That's awesome. So you're pioneering ABM within the org. If our last question, we'll jump into the meaningful questions, but what do you like most about kind of ABM? And not for that to be like a loaded question, but like, do you like the targeting more? Do you like doing the deep insights? Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything in particular that stands out to you?
Yeah, there's two things that I love about ABM. One is the proximity to the people that I work with, multiple different teams, be that sellers, SDRs, customer success managers, or account managers. I love working closely with a team and also focusing on proximity to, yeah, those deep insights that you mentioned. So the closer I am to the customer or potential customer, and the more information I can collect about an account or a cohort of accounts, thus the better we can personalize the message, the channels, and what we produce to win them over, win hearts and minds and wallets. Like that's really, really exciting for me.
Hearts and minds and wallets. I think that should be the title of this episode, to be fair. That's a good phrase.
Love it. Don't quote me. It's borrowed from an amazing CMO I used to work with at a previous company. But yeah, definitely something that I live by.
Well, I like it a lot. You're going to have to tell me who that is. Joanna, right, we are going to jump into the questions now because you've kindly volunteered your time. The first question came in from Mustafa Chowdhury, and he asked, what's the most actionable data for your use case that translates directly to tactics or program scenarios that you use today? So again, I think the TLDR here is there any specific data points that you look at that kind of drive your campaigns?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, there's two things in the way that we view ABM. One is expanding on things that have previously worked, and the other is testing new things. When it comes to things that have worked before, it's a much easier way to define kind of those triggers or the data that shows us where we should be focusing. What's our ICP? What are our biggest, like highest value customers? Where do we have the most success? What are the industries that we have really strong success stories, and so on. So I think that one's a much easier one to understand and get off the ground. The testing one or the testing use cases are the more exciting ones for us. Again, we've only been running for about kind of 10 months or so, and uncovering the new markets or new industries, sub-industries that we might want to focus on has been particularly exciting. The data and insights that help there are things like intent, first and third party, and we collect that through a variety of tools, but also what we already have in our CRM, technographics, so complementary solutions to ours, or competitors that we stack up against pretty well as industries that perhaps are having industries and companies that are having some other changes in the market. So perhaps they are receiving investment, or those industries are buying more or have been known to be or like hiring more. Because we have a solution for talent acquisition teams, that's a key one for us. So yeah, and kind of marrying those two segments together makes it a really nice and well-rounded campaign where we're using data to kind of have those the multitudes of more repeatable leads or accounts that we are relying on, but also testing to ensure that we're building future pipeline as well.
That is a solid answer, and I love the answer specifically because, like, within the first 10 words that came out of your mouth to answer that question, like, it was all rooted in common sense. So, like, start with what's already working. My ADHD brain always jumps to, like, what's new? What can we try? And then you're like, no, Sam, literally, this is working. Just do more of that, and then you can, like, layer in the experiments. So,
And I think it's
no, carry on. This is good.
I think it's difficult getting buy-in as well when you're coming in with something new and saying, right, let's reinvent the wheel in every single sense, right? So if you're going in with an ABM campaign for the first time saying, right, we're only going to try new stuff, might not work for 18 months. I think obviously you wouldn't phrase it that way, but even if that's the message, I think people you'll struggle getting buy-in for that kind of initiative. So you've got to back yourself through some stuff that's already working and ways to influence that.
For sure. I think since I've crossed 30, I've realized your golden retriever energy can only take you so far. And then, like, it actually has to be rooted in, like, some form of, like, experience level to, like, justify your opinions. But alas, you have done my job for me, because challenge 2 came in from Gabriella Sellers, and her question was around how can ABM teams in larger, complex organizations adopt a small business mindset to stay innovative and impactful?
Great question. I think in a lot of ways, it depends what kind of organization you're in. Some organizations can be a lot more flexible when it comes to different teams operating in different ways. Some cultures or structures are more rigid. However, when it comes to within a larger team implementing that mindset, I think the first thing that comes to mind is using Scrum or agile methodology. Sounds like bringing a framework into something that's meant to sound quite fun and innovative is not necessarily the first thing that people come up with, but it's where my brain goes. I think working in those ways and ensuring that in perhaps a company that is a little bit more structured and process driven, you have that framework or process that can help bring you out of the long planning cycles or long execution cycles. It's something that I've tried in the past as well. So perhaps having a 4-week sprint that has messaging in week 1, advertising in week 2, launch through SDR campaigns in week 3, and then week 4 is just for looking at optimizing the campaign. Having discussion time as well is helpful, and just taking the team out of that kind of standard culture. But overall, it's just about moving fast. I think having new ideas, being able to execute them quickly, and also pivot when you see that something's not working.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's the same with, like, a startup mentality as well. If you're founding something, you don't necessarily need to be it's one word, right? It's context, right? And the quicker you can adapt to whatever's happening in the environment, even if it's not perfect, makes a lot more sense and would make your ABM programs much more relevant. And what you're suggesting is, like, almost dicing up and collapsing those timelines into, like, micro sprints. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I sure could have benefited from doing that. That's definitely the case. Challenge 3 came in from Mason Cosby. Good friend Mason asked, what would your $200 a month ABM tech stack be? So for those that don't know, should be plugging. There are other agencies available, but Scrappy ABM over in the US is a very good agency. Anyway, Joanna.
I will give you my £0, £0 tech stack first. Of course,
Whoa.
the caveat, nothing's free, but the bare minimum is absolutely just like a project management tool or a spreadsheet or like whatever your company already has, an Asana, a Trello. That can even be, your company doesn't have to have something like that. You can just go for the free trial version or the free version, freemium model. If you really want to layer something on top, ZenABM is a great lower cost tool. I'm sure that's been mentioned a few times on the show, but I think launching with LinkedIn ads, and specifically a tool that can really target and show you the impact of your campaigns like ZenABM does, better than I think some of the other larger tools. I think like that will be the next stage. Did you want to add a comment in, Sam? I see you like wanting to jump in.
No. Sorry, I get so excited by doing this. No, I was at a Clay event last night with and ZenABM were there. The founder, I can't remember what his name, but anyway, ZenABM were at Clay, and yeah, that's weird how two and two come together very quickly.
Yeah, and it's a great tool. It's a great tool, and yeah, the founder's fantastic. I think he's really got the problem down, but because he's also a product guy, he also knows how to work with marketers to get to something that is very usable and very helpful, and get there really quickly.
I think it launched on Product Hunt yesterday. Anyway, we digress. This is good coverage. Are you okay for time? If we quickly whiz through the last few? Awesome, Joanne. The next challenge came in from Domana Markova. She asked, what is the most creative way you have solved a problem with no budget? Kind of a follow-on question from Mason's there. A case study of some crazy innovative play that maybe you just use spreadsheets for, or I don't know.
I do love a spreadsheet. This one is a bit more guerrilla marketing though. And here's how it goes. A few years ago, I used to work at an agency, and we had a brief from a large company who wanted to get into one of the biggest British retailers. And yeah, they had no budget. So we were executing almost like an account-based play where we were targeting the retailer. And what we did was just went out to the offices, dressed up as brand ambassadors for the brand, and we're giving out free samples or kind of tiny gifts to everybody who was coming out of the office of set large supermarket chain. We made lots of friends, spoke to lots of people who were not necessarily in the right team or department, but got the excitement across the organization, and eventually reach the right stakeholders as well, who were the buyers, who were in the procurement team. I think spreading joy and positivity. This is very much an interview of me saying, yes, like people are such a huge part of ABM and campaigns and making things work properly. I think spreading kindness, positivity, and a good vibe and a good attitude towards your brand in the entirety of an organization is the best way to make an impact and get in there. And it doesn't require that much or any budget at all.
Sure. And I genuinely think it's the future. Like part of a lot of people at the Clay event last night, going a bit off topic with were all about like, how am I getting people to respond to my messages? And it's almost having still that transactional mindset. Whereas like Amelia up on the panel on stage, she was talking about like, what's the value? How can I give them something to build and start with that relationship? And I think it's actually really nice. It's also annoying because I built my career almost in the spray and pray days where it was like easy to like mass people and you get loads of people in. But if you're willing to actually care about people, and as you said, spread joy, especially around Christmas, it's just going to go 10 times faster. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Right. So challenge 5, we're doing great. This came in from 6 Cents, Steph. He asked, why are some organizations unable to move past a lead-based marketing approach, even when ABM would be a better fit? So actually, I think maybe you're a really good person to ask this if you've kind of transitioning from demand gen to ABM at your company.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a tough one, but I'm going to have to give some tough love here. And I think the truth is probably it's just easier being a lead-based organization. It's easier to attribute. It's easier to prove in some ways who's got the credit and who's really bringing the lead through and booking the meetings. When it gets to an account-based approach, as beneficial as it is, especially the larger the deal sizes, the more complex the buying committees, the slightly murkier the water gets. Everything is pointing toward account-based being the right way of going, especially when it comes to the need to multi-thread and so on. But yeah, I think it's just so much easier to have that lead-based marketing that person received the email, that person opened the email, that person booked a meeting with the rep. We know that's not how it works in the real world. We know about buying committees, we know about buying groups and influencing entire organizations. But I think it's just much easier, and it's much easier to prove value going up and across the organization.
Yeah, humans definitely just avoid resistance wherever possible, don't they? You should see me in the gym at all costs. But yeah, no, if it's easier to, it's almost like, I think my old boss, VP of sales, long time ago, was like, oh, you've got a monkey brain to monkey brain. It's like, if you get apples to apples, it's like, it's got to be super, super simple. Otherwise, people switch off, and any complexity dilutes the message and effectiveness. So I'm in agreement with you there. And also, I'm not fully against the lead based. I know it's all account scoring, but like, yeah, I definitely use leads as an indicator to some extent. Anyway, moving on. I should not say that. Challenge 6 came in from Mike Davies. This is another one of my favorite questions that came in, because clearly Mike here is fighting some demons. He asked, what is one sacred cow in B2B marketing that needs to be slaughtered, and why haven't you done it yet? You could say leads, MQLs.
I also don't mind. Like, we do need to work with leads. We do need to have, in some cases, MQLs. And I think it's going to take a very long time to get change management out of that. We do have a different one. I hope this is still a sacred cow. It might be slightly controversial, but is it a sacred cow? You tell me. I think product tours, like, no one cares that much about like your 30-minute demo of the product. People really want to be wowed in other ways. I don't think that the regular product tours are working. I don't think that they are converting. If they are, please feel free to challenge me. But I just think that we need to figure out more exciting ways to engage prospects, accounts, people than what has previously been just like a 30 to 60 minute showcase of your product. Buyers don't want to buy the products because you're going to show them, that recording. I think it really is about impressing and showing them that there is a solution to the problem rather than just a solution in the product sense of the word.
Okay, I've got so many questions. This is good. This is
Yeah.
juicy. We've got that. So wait, are you talking about specifically them sending like a link to a Loom video, or are you talking about like a Novatic, a story lane where it's like an interactive demo on the website, or are you talking about a sales-led demo where, hey, can I have 30 minutes of your time to do a discovery and then talk through like what? Clarify that, please, and then the optimal. What is the optimal approach in your opinion?
Yeah, great follow-ups. What I don't think I like is like what I think should be slaughtered. I'm just going to be very direct here because I'm now on a roll. Yes, slaughter the 30 to 60 minute one and done spray and pray demo recording that just goes out to everyone that is available on the website. I don't think it works. Sales doing personalized demos, that is way more impactful. We need to personalize things to the person, to the organization. A replacement for that is definitely Novatic. I want to be engaged. I want to be clicking through things, even when I'm buying. If it's just, I'm not going to watch a 30-minute video of a product. I just won't. Let's be honest. We don't have the time, and it's not personalized to us. So yes, an engaging tour, a Novatic tour, perhaps GIFs or very short snippets that really bring the prospect through a journey and show me things that are relevant for my position, for my industry, for the problems that I have. Yes, but those long videos, get them out of here.
Totally fair enough. Joanna does accept gifts from Sendoso and Reach Desk, I'm sure. As do I, if anyone wants to try and sell me anything. Yeah, that's interesting. And I guess it comes back to what you were early saying about relationship building, right? It's like, not instead of like, let's look at this video, this is going to be a very transactional, like, you're going to watch this and pay us $60,000 or pounds. Should use the pounds more. Big up. It's more of a, okay, like, here are some indicators we think you've got problems, or like where we think we could help, like, is this the case? And actually doing like a real sort of discovery, and then giving them the resources to almost fill the product out for themselves. It's like the optimal buying experience, in your opinion. Have I got that right or wrong?
Absolutely, totally right. The more we can personalize, the more we can share that we can understand the prospect's point of view, their challenges, and how we can solve them, the better it's going to get. I do think that just doing something mass marketing wise when we have so much data at our fingertips is a waste of time.
Oof. Okay. Right. Final question. Well, final question from the guests came in from Emily York Goldney. And she asks, if the sky was the limit in terms of budget, i.e., you've got unlimited budget, how would you spend it to drive account engagement? And what I like to say as a follow-on to this is please be as, well, you mentioned guerrilla marketing, but please be as out there as possible, purely for my entertainment purposes. But no, I like creative ideas. But yeah, how would you spend it?
Yeah, amazing. I think just to start with some relatively realistic, though very expensive things. I think whatever the strategies are, it has to be based around true one-to-one account-based marketing. Like it has to be super personalized to that account and to the people in the buying committee. So I'm buying all of the billboards around their office. I am sending gifts to their home address if they're not in office. I am figuring out every single charity that the buying committee cares about or has donated to in the past, and I'm sending that charity money. Just to throw a few unrealistic things in there, but that I would absolutely love to do, wrap multiple London buses and have them deliver cupcakes with gold foil to the office. I'm getting a blimp. I'm putting everybody on a helicopter to bring them to the Wimbledon finals.
Joanna, what's
And
a
just
blimp? Sorry.
What's a blimp, Sam?
Yeah,
Is that the Americanism? Talking like what was in the Hindenburg disaster?
I have no idea. We're going to edit this out because it's making me look stupid here. Oh dear.
No. So I went to an American school. So a blimp is a non-rigid airship that gets its shape from the pressure of the lifting gas inside it, not from an internal structure. So it's like
Oh,
the
come on.
Gaudian blimp.
This is a marketing podcast. How was I meant to know that? All right. Okay. We're rolling. We've got a helicopter. We've got the planes with like a message at the back of them, right?
Yeah. And again, just so sure, if sky was the limit, yeah, the sky would be the limit. I'm going to put everybody on an airplane, get them over to a private island, and create a branded experience over there.
Well, I think honestly that is the future of ABM. I don't think it is necessarily tools and technology. Like a lot of what we're doing at ABM Answered now is we started building loads of tools for the community, like partnering. If you've got an idea, we've got developers, we'll build it for free. But really the pull recently has been like roundtables and just connecting people, but connecting people in awesome ways be absolutely wicked. Great. Well, I hope some company gives you unlimited budget, Joanna. Yeah, fingers crossed. Last two questions, very quick. If you could invent any tool or technology, what would it be and why? Ideally, ABM related. If you can't think of anything, maybe go with a smart fridge or, I don't know, a blimp, something. I still don't understand what a blimp is.
I'll send you one in the post.
Oh, no, yeah, okay. I'm up for that.
Great. I think if I was to invent any ABM tool, I'm going to have to go really boring with this one, but I'm afraid it would have to be something that with a press of a button just gets rid of all my analytics headaches. So it can tell me how many stakeholders are interacting with a campaign. Oh, are you gonna plug something? Tell me.
No,
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not going to plug anything. You're just bang on the money though. Like I think dashboards are dead. Like why are we still using them?
Yeah, I just think, just tell me how many stakeholders are engaging from that account. Just tell me how many accounts are moving further down the funnel. How many dashboards and reports do I need to create in Salesforce to connect to 7 different tools to then not even give me a full picture of the funnel? Please, someone make my dream come true. I just need to wave a magic wand and figure out what my impact is for the organization.
And now a word from our sponsors. I'm just kidding. We haven't got one. Or if there is one that does that, please do tell me because I'd buy it also. It's like, yeah, Charlie and I, my co-founder, thought about this because it's like there's jobs out there where people actually go into HubSpot and arrange dashboards, and then in 6 months they're out of date anyway, and then things are evolving. It's almost like you want to go to your email, type in this account, and it gives you a graph and things, and it just like would sort your life out. But hey, we can all dream, right? Last question, Joanna. Do you have a question for our next guest?
I do indeed.
Okay.
So my question for your next guest is, while everyone is talking about AI, but the data is telling us that prospects, consumers, people are going back to in-person experiences. Yet it's more difficult to build brand awareness, trust, and loyalty in the digital world until you've met those people in person. How do you bridge the gap? How do you build relationships in order to get people to attend events in person so that you can get them on your side and make sure that they trust your brand and trust you?
That is a very well thought out question and a very fitting question. So I will ask a couple of people that. Joanna, thank you so much. You have been wonderful.
Thanks so much, Sal. Thanks for having me.